welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
Starting to pick up.
Yep. Well, that'll be great on live, on a podcast.
Hey, we may lose one of these canopies. There it goes.
Oh, boy.
I knew that was going to happen.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Yeah, you're live, Irma. Welcome. What's up, Irma? How you doing? We got you. Hey, we're tapped into your computer there too, where you work. We can actually see you on video. I hacked your computer. So beautiful earrings today, Irma. You're always beautiful. Very nice.
You're so silly.
She's on. Here we go. She is on.
She's ready.
Point. We were just talking about how our friend from Fargo is already ready to go. Jerica is waking up with us.
Good morning, Jerica.
Good morning from cold Fargo, North Dakota.
Yes. well, it's cold here too. We're with you.
Jerica, I got a little shout out for you, by the way. Huntsville, please don't get mad at me.
Do it.
All I have is winter clothing from Fargo. We don't need
also known as just clothing in Fargo.
Yeah, just like summer clothing.
Yeah.
Let's just say that I had a lot of winter things up there. Here, you don't really need them. No, I mean
2 days out of the year.
Maybe, yeah, 2.
Today's one.
One very small moment, and then it's going to warm up.
It's probably not all
bit.
day. You just need it right now.
Just in the morning.
Yes.
In the morning. Yikes, Denise, you want to do the favorite? Should I put you in that? Uh-oh. Look at that right there. Jerica,
so
that's for you.
That's for you.
Whoa, did you catch it? Did you catch Denise saying that's so pretty with that? Whoa there, Denise. Yikes.
Cut that out.
We are going to have people just...
We're going to have to edit this video.
Yeah, that is going to be edited. For those of you listening on Spirit Radio, you're wondering what's going on. The only winter clothing that I have is stuff from North Dakota State University. So... Yeah, so I had my little pullover this morning. I walked up. Bridget didn't even notice it. I thought she's going, what are you doing wearing that in Huntsville? Ain't nobody got time, but I do because it was cold this morning.
Yeah.
So
it's a little fresh out there.
Jerica's saying go buy them. Hey, they did take it. No one cares here, but except Jerica and I. They took care of Murray State this past weekend. Basketball underway, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But good morning to you, Jerica. Thanks for joining us, and everybody else for chiming in. Now that we've got that out of the way,
yes.
I'm transparent, Denise. You know,
you are.
I don't have anything to hide.
No.
You know, nothing. I'm an open book, man. And Bridget says she told me to lay off social media so much. So that's part of what I do, man.
Just telling everybody. That's fine.
That's part of what I do. So we want to welcome you in. Happy Monday. I want to see what Jennifer called it today. It is a marvelous Monday.
Marvelous Monday.
What did she say there? What did she say? What are you reading there, Denise? What did she say? It's a marvelous Monday.
Wet and cold.
But still a blessing to wake up this morning. Have a great week, everyone. Stay warm.
That's a good idea.
It was rainy this morning too.
It was.
I'm wondering,
It's
like,
still. Oh no, it's just kind of sprinkling now.
I woke up and I said, man, and I hung a HEB had like these little $30, $40 inflatables in the seasonal aisle for Halloween. One of them was a witch that you put up against the wall, like she smacked into the wall. So her hands, and it's a blow up. So her hands are like this, and then the broom is sticking out from under her, and it looks like she smacked into the wall.
Yeah.
So what did I do yesterday? I decided, man, it's going to be a lot of fun. Braylon was outside with me all day, my little almost 2-year-old, and all afternoon after church. And I said, you know what, Denise? I said, this is going to be so much fun. I am going to hang that witch out of the, I don't know what you call it, like the soffit of the house or the vent.
I don't know.
I don't even know. Ain't nobody know what that is. Yeah, I don't even know.
Somebody will tell us in a minute.
I'm going to show it here on the screen, so give me 1 second. This is what we're showing this morning. This was hanging out of the house yesterday. That's what I hung up yesterday. And she looks like she's just chilling right there.
Yeah. She looks like she's just hanging out.
I didn't take the picture this morning, by the way, but she is no longer there.
It kind of looks like she's just like peeking in.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. The broom's just hanging.
Yeah.
It was really scary because I have a gorilla ladder. Have you ever seen the Home Shopping Network where they're selling ladders and the guy...
It'll lay flat and you can
Yeah,
step
it does
on
all, like, turns into scaffolding, or it does, like, they say, like, 100 positions. Well, you only really need it for, like, one, and that's as a ladder. I'm not going to use that as scaffolding. Let's just say the hamburgers have been generous to me over the years, and the chicken fried steak and the chicken fried chicken.
Yeah.
And I think I'm right at that level of that ladder. So I get on this thing yesterday, and it goes up pretty high. You couldn't tell from that vent, but it's a ways up there.
High.
It's on the peak of the roof. So I'm up there. Braylon is like under me. Of course, I can't tell my 23-month-old
holding the ladder for you.
She couldn't hold the ladder for
Keep
me.
it steady.
And I'm up there, man, and that thing starts wobbling. And I had this vision, and it wasn't of Sugar Plum's dance, whatever it is, dancing in my head. This was a vision of me falling on that concrete and saying adios to the world. And I was like, God, man, this is scary. I shouldn't be thinking about that.
Nope.
And but I got up there real quick. I hammered 2 nails in. I hung that flying witch right there on the peak of the house. I get up this morning. Oh, and then I had to poke a little hole in the screen because we have an electrical outlet in the attic. So that's how she's blown up. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I did that, and I patched that up on the inside. That was the easy part. But, man, I go outside this morning, Denise, and she's hanging halfway down. The wind blew her off of my hook last night.
So all that work was worth it.
Yeah.
That's what you're telling me.
It was not worth it, and now I'm scared to get back on that ladder because of what I just said.
Fix her. No, you got to fix her.
Well, I'm scared because you know what? I'm not even going to speak. That is not going to happen. Bridget will be out there with me today holding that ladder.
You were going to say Bridget's going to do it.
No, Bridget would not do that. So we will rehang the witch and get it ready for Halloween.
Yeah, no, I'm not a heights person. I can't. When I was 9 years old, I had a bit of an accident. There's about a 7-inch scar on my head.
Oh, man.
Ever since then, I have the worst vertigo.
Are you comfortable saying what the accident was?
Yeah, we were on. It was a class trip. I grew up in Oklahoma, so it was a class trip. We went to Black Mesa, which is literally a Black Mesa. It was formed by a volcano, and it runs across state lines. So there's like a little park up there. So for 3rd grade, decided it was a good idea to go to Black Mesa. We climbed, we had lunch up there, and then we're climbing down. I'm great. I'm fine. I'm not scared of heights. But on the way down, my best friend is freaking out in the back. So I turn to look at her, tell her to calm down. I don't pay attention to where my foot's going. Twist my ankle, start rolling end over end. Long story short, cracked open.
Oh.
Yeah, missed the last month of school. I was devastated because I was going to be behind in math. I was that student. But everything's fine. My mom saw my brain. She's a little traumatized by it, but...
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it starts, you can see the tip of it right here.
So we're talking like a splittage here.
Oh, yeah, no.
Oh.
I was, my teacher was wearing a long T-shirt. She ripped the bottom of it, and she's like, hold it on your head. My hand kept falling inside of my head. It was open. Has anybody ever seen Goonies?
Oh,
You know,
This
the
was
one, like
Goonies.
how his eyes are. My eyes were off. I was so swollen. Like my eyes were not even. It
Did
was
they
bad.
put like a plate or anything, or
No,
it just?
it got sewed up.
Good Lord healed you. That's good.
Yep, it was. That was a good ninth grade, 9-year-old summer.
Only
Yeah.
because you laughed a little bit when you were talking about this. You know, sometimes we laugh to like get over the tragedy of what happens. Did anybody like accidentally poke you in there and then your arm starts twitching?
Not that I can remember. There's little bits and pieces that I don't remember. Maybe that's what it was.
Well, Denise,
No.
we're glad you're okay.
Oh yeah. No,
I never
it
did
was
even
fun.
know that. I never even noticed
Yeah,
that.
you can see the very tip of it, and it's
Very tip,
just
yeah.
off center. So, like, if I were to part it right where the scar is, it almost looks like I parted it down the middle. It's just off the center, but it forms a J. So you can see it's a little bit wider, like right here where it actually hit
okay.
a rock, and then it split from there. But that rock was my blessing because the next, couple inches down was a cliff. So,
Oh yeah, we wouldn't
Yeah.
be talking, man.
No.
Praise God that you were okay at a young. They renamed that after this accident. By the
Mm-hmm.
way, I don't know if you knew this. I did the backstory. I researched
Yeah.
this. They now call it Blackout Black Mesa.
yeah.
and
I thought I remembered that, but no.
and then under it says honoring Denise Olivas.
It should.
So they gave you the shout out at least.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
we're glad you're okay. It's
It's just a couple pints of my blood still up there on Black
man.
Mesa.
Wow. All right. Well, that's how
Good
we're gonna
times.
that's how we're gonna start this morning here on Good Morning Huntsville. We're gonna talk about accidents. We hope that you don't have an accident
No,
this morning.
don't do that.
In
That's
fact,
not fun.
in a serious kind of flip the script, a friend of mine's son had what looked to be a terrible accident last night. About 12:30, they were coming back from a movie, and these are great boys. I mean, just very respectful. They weren't up to any trouble. They were just out watching a movie. And she posted a pic. I saw it this morning when I woke up, and I said, "My goodness!" And then I was reading it, and she says, "Thank goodness, our boys were okay. They just but the front of the car was just smashed." And so, I want to tell you this morning, as you're waking up, obviously it's cooler outside, 43 degrees. But what makes it a little more treacherous, other than the cool weather, which in a way feels really nice, to be honest, but
It is.
it's raining, it's misty,
wet.
roads are slick.
Yes.
If you drive a pickup truck like I do, I never had a truck before. I always drove my dad's truck. But when we went to Fargo, I traded in the Kia, which I miss. I love the Kia Optima, man. I loved the Kia. I had it paid off. That's why I
Yeah.
loved it. But the Kia wasn't going to make it in North Dakota.
No.
So I got a 4-wheel drive truck. And now it's like I don't really need the truck anymore, although it's handy because we carry a lot of stuff. But the thing is, the trucks are so light in the back, man, you barely tap the gas
Yeah.
and trucks slide around. And so just be very, very careful this morning as you're waking up. Winds north at 16 miles an hour. And so we actually have a little bit of wind chill this morning in the mid-30s. I know Jerica's laughing right now because they're well below. They've already had a big snow up there, I believe. Today, though, it's not going to get much warmer, friends. It's going to get about 45, 80% chance of showers will continue tonight. It's going to hover around the low 40s. And then tomorrow on Halloween, it'll be 56 degrees. It will get very chilly tomorrow evening, though, so you're going to have to
Yeah.
bundle up the little ones when they go out.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm trying to decide, because it'll be Braylon's first trick-or-treat.
Okay.
We're taking Caden as like extra candy insurance
Yeah, of course.
because he's only 4
For
months.
the child.
He's candy insurance. So we're gonna just carry him, and then I've got like a little tiny bag, and that's Daddy's bag.
Yeah.
But people don't know that. And
Well, they do now.
They do now. I call him candy insurance to get extras. But we're going to go. Someone said, go at 5. Well, then I was reading. Someone was like, don't be showing up at my house at 5 o'clock. So I think we're going to probably go about 6 o'clock tomorrow. And then we're going to head over to different areas like Chick-fil-A. Prison City Jeep is having a big thing over there, like a trunk or treat at Chick-fil-A.
That's cool.
So, and those are the ones that if you're an adult, just show up. You know,
yeah.
they're cool with Chick-fil-A with adults showing up.
Well, they should be.
But if you're an adult without children, don't show up. Because if you come knocking on my door and you look like a grown man or woman, I'm going to be like, turn around, don't drown. You're not coming on my front porch when we get out of here. So anyways, It'll be fun. Well, here we go. I know we've started. We've been going for 15 minutes or so. We do want to welcome you in here on a marvelous Monday. We'll get to everybody who's joining us. We got a great show lined up. Denise and I will work hard to keep you entertained here over the next hour. But we do have a good friend of ours, Dell Enderlin, the executive director of Operation Red Wings Foundation, that'll be joining us. They have some exciting updates on what they've been up to and the wonderful things that they do for veterans here, not just throughout our county, but literally throughout the entire area. So Dell will be explaining more about that this morning. All week long, it's cash money. It's just cash money because, I was thinking, Walker County Federal Credit Union, Denise Olivas, Karen still, Caboing it up. I guess she'll be back on Wednesday. Terrible vacation, by the way, having to go to Cabo.
No, they're in Cozumel.
Cozumel, that's right. Even worse.
I know.
But she'll be back next week. But Denise is here with us and our great friends from Walker County Federal Credit Union on a Monday. We couldn't bring you the show without them. Big thank you to Elliot Herzlich of Elliot's Jewelers for all of your jewelry needs, whether it's custom, new pieces, whatever. Elliot's going to take care of you. Visit him online, elliotsjewelers.com. And a big thank you to Paul Oley of the Gallery as well. But that's how things look today. We've also got some this day in history. What is it the National Day of? It is not my day today. And you'll know why here in a minute because it's a national.
I don't think it's a lot of people's day.
Yeah, it's the former candy that was known as chicken feed. And if you guys have been watching the show, we're 140 episodes in. You're going to know why I don't like this quote-unquote chicken feed. Many of you are going to be on the same page. But for some reason, some bozo out there decided that he was going to create a national holiday for this nasty stuff.
I'm really glad you know that little piece of trivia that it used to be chicken feed.
Yeah, I did. Well, that's because of the show, because we were looking up trivia. By the way, we're going to start something this week. We may not do it today, just because it honestly just popped into my head. So we'll start it probably tomorrow. But our friend Vance Howard from the Cafe Texan was on last week, and we were excited to have him on and talking about the great things that they're doing with the Cafe Texan, not just the cafe, but also the Historical Museum. They have been gracious to donate once a week a breakfast to the show. And so we're going to do a little Huntsville trivia where folks can call or text in. And so I'm still getting the back end of all that set up. And so we'll be giving away a breakfast a week here on the show as well.
Nice.
And that's
awesome.
That's a good hearty breakfast over there.
Yeah.
But I mentioned cash because, not just because of Walker County, and they're not sponsoring this. I wish they would, but they sponsor the show. It's coming out of my pocket, so it's kind of filtering through the credit union, and then filtering to me, and then I got to give it away. But this week's keyword, and it's not a Benjamin Franklin, by the way. There's a lot of $100 bills on that background. It is definitely not $100 a day. I would be broke as a joke. But how about $20? That'll buy you.
I'll take a 20.
That'll buy you half a Big Mac in California now. So $20 every day we're giving away here on the show. All you got to do, text in the key. What is the keyword, Denise? It's your word.
Well, that is cash. Cash money.
A little bit of that cash. What were we talking about earlier? That song. I'm not a player. I just crush a lot. What was that big? We were trying
big pun.
What were we saying? Like we thought it was like.
I thought it was Fat Joe.
I was like, you were like Little Joe. No, I think it's Fat Joe.
Little Joe sings like Tejano. Fat Joe. It was a friend of Big Pun, so I wasn't completely off.
Little Joe would be singing Danero, Danero.
That's right.
Yeah. So, but it is not. It was Big Pun. But you know what? We're not even worried about any of those guys. We don't have their money, but we have a little bit. We're giving away $20 every day this week. All you got to do is text in the keyword cash along with your name. And you can only, this week we've limited it to where you can only enter once per week just to make it fair. So once per, you cannot enter every single day, just once per week.
Okay.
But go ahead and text in the keyword cash on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line at 936-339-0139. Again, that number, 936-339-0139.
You fixed it.
What?
Cuisine.
Well, I know. Yeah, I was talking to Randolph. He said, hey, the joke was fun, but we got to fix it, man. Because he said people were like showing up being like, hey, you got to fix that. I said, well, it's good advertising because people are noticing it.
Yeah, everybody knows it.
And what I was getting at, it was misspelled. Cuisine was misspelled. Denise is the one who figured it out. She didn't even get $100. Quentin Music Man Williams got the $100 for figuring it out. We left it because we have folks in Louisiana that they don't call their cousins. They call them casines. And they're down here now. It's my cousin Sandy down here now.
Yeah, I think I have heard that before.
Yeah, so that's it was really related to our friends. Our friends in Louisiana. So, but we did change it. It's now cuisine.
All right.
So no more.
I miss it now.
I know. But
shouldn't have said anything.
We'll step aside, take a break. Dell will join us on the other side along with Denise. She'll remain on. We will get to national news news, and more. We'll hear from our sponsors. Stay with us. It's your show as we're waking up on a Monday. Here we go as we continue.
USA News, I'm Lance Pry. Israeli forces are now in the second phase of their war against Hamas. Laura Winters reports.
Israel starting the second phase of the war to wipe out Hamas terrorists. The IDF, Israeli Defense Forces, warning citizens in northern Gaza to get out now and head south for food and water. The Israeli military moving in to destroy Hamas and get the hostages home. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu saying this is Israel's second war of independence. The war, the direct result of Hamas terrorists killing 1,400 Jews at a festival and at a kibbutz, shooting many in the head, raping women, beheading babies, and setting Jews on fire and burning down their homes to the ground.
In Florida, Tampa police are reporting 2 people are dead and 18 others were injured in a shooting after a fight between 2 groups broke out in the streets early yesterday morning in Tampa's Ybor City. Officers were present when the incident happened just before 3 a.m. local time. Authorities believe there were at least 2 shooters involved. The judge overseeing GOP presidential candidate Donald Trump's January 6 case is reinstating a gag order imposed on him.
The limited gag order was temporarily stopped earlier this month, with the judge denying the former president's request to pause the order while his appeal plays out. The order denies Trump from making certain statements about both the special counsel team or potential witnesses. I'm Dave Collins.
The United Auto Workers Union is growing its strike against General Motors. Shortly after the union announced a tentative deal with Stellantis over the weekend, the UAW said it will order roughly 4,000 workers to walk out of GM's Spring Hill assembly plant in Tennessee. The auto workers have been on strike since September 15th. USA News.
Okay, I'm talking funny because I'm in the witness protection program. I have too much credit card debt and I don't want people to find me.
Okay, I'm just kidding. We're going to talk about credit card debt. Right, those plastic things that we all have in our wallet. Are you in your 50s or 60s and you're still carrying around a mound of credit card debt? Wouldn't it be nice to start banking that money and save a little money for retirement down the road? We help people restructure their credit card debt all the time. We show people how they can get out of credit card debt in months, not years. Listen, you'll be carrying around credit card debt for the rest of your life unless you deal with it right now. We offer a free consultation so you can learn how you can finally wipe out your credit card debt and start saving money. Give us a free call right now.
Call Debt Solutions Network now. 866-451-3328. 866-451-3328. That's 866-451-3328.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union, and our business is helping you take care of your business. In addition to personal accounts, Walker County Federal Credit Union also offers business accounts and business lending for commercial customers. We're devoted to taking care of the needs of our individual members and helping our business members with their financial success, too. Call us today and find out how easy it is to work with Walker County Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA.
Hey friends, Rob Hip here. As a guy, jewelry's not really my thing. I never know what I'm looking for. I feel uncomfortable, and I just don't understand how certain things look good together. But that's why I depend on Elliot Herzlich at Elliot's Jewelers. Whenever Bridget and I wanted to get engaged, we said, we need to go to a place to where someone's going to take care of us. They're going to make me feel comfortable as a guy, but they're also going to take care of her needs as well. So I went into Elliot's, and he was so gracious and compassionate with my understanding, and I wanted something that looked a little masculine for my engagement band, and he said, I've got the perfect thing for you. And he found some white hammered gold that was trimmed in 14 karat gold, also put a diamond on that ring to signify my love for Bridget, and as we grow and our family grows, we can put a diamond around the rest of those. So friends, if you're looking for someone that is dedicated to customer service, that understands the needs of people and does what's right all the time, there's nobody better than my friend. It's Elliot Herzlich at Elliot's Jewelers. Visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
Oh, pleasant good morning, Huntsville. Thanks for waking up with us here. We're so excited that you decided to spend your Monday to get your week started off with us here on Hello Huntsville and Good Morning Huntsville. As always, we welcome you in. And this morning, maybe you're going through a difficult situation, but we want to remind you, friends, that there is always light at the end of the tunnel. So no matter what you're facing today, just remain in faith and know that God is watching out after you. I always like to throw a little inspiration here on this show this morning, and sometimes, we need to hear that every single day, even if things are good. I always say even when things are good, God is good. Even when things are bad, He's good. And so no matter what you're dealing with today, I just wanted to leave that with you here as we get rolling in our second segment. Back here with Denise Olivas from Walker County Federal Credit Union for all of your banking needs. Go by and see them. Denise, I sent you an email a few days ago. We've got a nonprofit organization that we're in the process of founding now with Rays of Hope and also another foundation. And so we'll be over there setting up some accounts with you guys soon.
I'm ready. I'm waiting for you.
All you got to do is just walk in. Denise will be there for you. And they're not going to. Do y'all have blinds in the offices there?
Nope.
No blinds. So they're not going to close the blinds because they don't even have them. So just walk on in and they'll take great care of you. But here we go on a Monday as we continue on, and our good friend Dell Enderlin joining us.
Good to see you.
Good to see you again. It's been a while, man.
It has.
Well, we see each other at church,
right?
But as far as here on the show, been a hot minute.
It's been I don't know, when was that? 4 or 5 months ago, maybe?
I think so, yeah. We're episode 140 already. So we decided, we wanted to have you back on and give us some updates. Dell Enderlin is the executive director at Operation Red Wings Foundation, an organization that is committed to serving military veterans and helping folks that just need somebody to listen, somebody to walk them through, somebody to help them overcome. And you guys have done an incredible job with that. Dell, before we dig in, I know that you were on a 4 or 5 months ago, but just give us a little bit of I don't want to say the whole story of Dell Enderlin because we had that before, but just let us know what you've been up to and how things have been.
Well, things have been great. We've been really busy at the foundation with a lot of changes going on. As we talked before, we have one of our retreat facilities that we're utilizing was Camp Coyote, but we decided that we needed to own our own facility. So we purchased a house on 15 acres here in Huntsville. And for people that drive by our old office down on 11th Street, we've moved out of that and we're putting that up for sale. And we've moved our office to the new facility and we're going to build our own retreat facility. We currently own one in Fayetteville, North Carolina, but we were leasing the one at Camp Coyote. And in addition to that, we're not using Camp Coyote any longer. We came across a facility that the old Bella Caroli camp down in the Sam Houston National Forest, which awesome. Kelvin Steele and Chris DeMiliano are involved in, and so they have taken great care of that facility, and we are currently utilizing that until we build our new facility.
Well, it's going to be great. We're so excited about the good work. Del, if you scoot, yeah, sorry, we don't have a camera producer here. So, and you know what, this floor, can you feel that it's kind of it kind of slopes on down this way?
No, it's just me. I feel like I'm infringing on Denise's private, interpersonal space
This is how we become friends.
Yeah, we're all cozy up in here. So, but it really, and all joking aside, the floor really does slope in here, and so the table legs on that side are higher. So it is common. I'll roll over. Sometimes I'm over here like, hey, Denise, and I got to kind of roll back a minute here. I don't want Bridget to get mad at me. So, But Dell, we appreciate you being here with us this morning. Operation Red Wings is such an important organization. You know, when I had you on 4 or 5 months ago, I talked about a therapeutic horse riding center that was where I grew up in Georgetown called Ride On Center for Kids. And I got to witness firsthand about service organizations that focus on helping military veterans through PTSD and those kind of things. And it was truly a life-changing experience for me to see our wounded warriors, folks that have came in that were injured in combat, and even those that weren't wounded, just others that had suffered unimaginable things that we could never fathom. And coming in and being involved in that organization really helped them to. I don't think it's like this. You don't ever get over it, but you learn how to cope with it.
Correct.
And you guys are doing some incredible work. Give us a little bit of rundown, just once again, about Operation Red Wings and what you do for veterans.
So we bring veterans in. It's for a 6-day retreat. We expose them to different modalities, equine therapy, ART, which is accelerated resolution therapy. It has to do with rapid eye movement, and it retrains the brain and replaces negative images that they might have experienced with positive images. It doesn't do away with the memory of the event, but it minimizes the negative reaction when those triggers hit. We have I don't know what you call it, a machine. It's called an alpha stim. It's an electrical stimulation. They call it a TENS unit. They're available to the public now, but these are really sophisticated pieces of equipment that focus on the areas of pain in the body that they might have. We do veteran-specific yoga, which is stretching and exercise to help minimize the areas of pain that they're having.
Well, we're showing the website right now. Again, Dell Enderlin joining us here. We appreciate his time and accessibility here today from Operation Red Wings Foundation. He is the executive director. You can find out more information at orwfoundation.org. And the mission, you just talked about the things that Operation Red Wing does with the retreats, but the mission to provide veterans and their families with a path to healing from their invisible wounds. Dell, you guys are seeing folks not just here locally, but literally from all over. Can you kind of tell us about the reach and how that's been?
Yeah, well, we've served veterans and their family members from 49 of the states, I believe.
Wow.
So, yeah, we bring them all over the country, free of charge to the veteran. We're privately funded. No government assistance at all to this point. I mean, there may come a day where we need to use the federal government, but none at all. Not only do we treat the veteran, we also bring in spouses because a lot of times the spouse doesn't even realize what their significant other or their partner is going through. And so we educate them, also give them some therapy because, if a veteran has gone through a trauma, it's creating an issue all through the whole family. So we'll bring the spouse in and educate them and help them learn how to deal with a veteran, and then we'll bring them back at a couples retreat so they can work on their relationship because obviously when there's things like that going on, relationship suffers. And then after that, if there are school-age children involved, we'll bring them back for a family retreat if they want their children to get some help.
Well, that's great. I mean, these retreats and just the opportunity to serve veterans, I call it the selfless sacrifice. It's the biggest selfless sacrifice anybody can make is serving our country. And my dad was a Vietnam veteran. My grandfather, World War II. I used to say first wave, and then my grandmother, before she passed, corrected me. She goes, he was second wave, but there was still only 8 in his company that survived. And I think a company is, 150 or so? And so to think about that and just what he had to see. And I'll never forget, Dell, is my grandfather got older. He passed away in 2000. And in a way, I say this in a kind way, I was thankful that he didn't live through 9/11 because it just would have really rocked his world. We were already dealing with a lot of things in our country, nothing like what we are now with everything that's happening. But that event, really, I always say that I never go one day without thinking about 9/11, and it was crazy because I was a senior when that happened. But I remember when my grandfather, when he passed, and I remember when 9/11 happened, and my mom and I were actually talking, and we just said we were so thankful that he didn't have to witness that because he was already, as he got older, he had started developing the onset of Alzheimer's. And kind of another blessing was he only had to spend 6 months in a nursing home. He never got to a point to where, he could still eat some. He never had to have feeding tubes, anything like that. So we were really fortunate. And for the most part, he still knew all of us. But there were days when he would forget. But I'll never forget, growing up, Del, the things and the stories that he told me about how, they were in a trench there as they stormed the beach, and guys around him, unfortunately, had lost their lives. And there wasn't resources, many of them, that were readily available. And I think if there was, like organizations like Operation Red Wings, it would have helped him be able to deal and cope with some of these things. Because the stories he told me were, as a child, you're like, oh, Grandpa, war stories, these are awesome. But then as you get older, you realize those stories had, in a way, a negative effect, because he had to carry that with him his entire life. And so we're so grateful to have an organization like yours. Maybe there's a family member out there this morning that's saying, I've needed to find help for my loved one. Maybe there's a veteran that's watching this morning that is nervous or afraid because they say, I may need help, but I don't want to go seek it. What would your message be to someone this morning that needs help?
They just need to sign up. I mean, it's free. It doesn't cost them anything but a few days of their time, and it can't hurt. So, ultimately, a lot of people that come to the program, that's they've got pressure from their spouse because they need to do something, or the relationship's going to end, and they come and they just say, "Well, I really don't want to be here, but I'm coming because I've been told I need to," and they come and they don't realize that there are other people that are going through the same thing that they're going through. They always think it's just them, because once they leave their unit and they go off and they live their own life, they don't usually talk about all that, and they come back and they're trying to integrate back into the civilian world, and it's hard after living what they've lived through. And so once they get there and they get that camaraderie of the other veterans and realize that, hey, I'm not alone, then they start opening up, and then it works. I wish I could tell you how it works. Not being a veteran myself, I can't explain it, but I know that it does.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, again, Del Enderlin joining us this morning. He is the executive director of the Operation Red Wings Foundation, a very important organization right here in our community that's making a global impact. You can find out more information, as I put up the website a little bit earlier, at orwfoundation.org. Del, you mentioned the property. Excited about that. What are maybe some things in the pipeline that's going to happen out there that you guys are working on now, and when are things going to kind of get ramped up over there?
Well, we're taking bids now to build it. We've already got the plans drawn out, and so as soon as that comes to fruition, I get all 3 bids in, I'll submit that to the board, and we'll make a decision and start moving. I'm hoping we can start construction in January.
Awesome. And it's going to, once the bulldozers get out and things happen, it goes pretty quick for the most part.
They've told us about 6 months. So hopefully by the end of next summer, we'll be operating 100% out there.
Perfect. Well, we would love an opportunity, and I know you have extended this as well. Once you guys have that up and running, we'd love an opportunity to come out and take some photographs of the facilities, and we'll definitely put together something here on Hello Huntsville for you guys.
Oh, that'd be great. I mean, we've already moved our office. If you want to come out and look at the property and take some pictures and put that up now, and I can show you where the facility's going to go. And
awesome.
There's a beautiful, algae-filled pond right now, but as soon as we get that cleaned up, it's a beautiful, probably an acre and a half pond out there too.
I didn't realize a friend of mine is involved. He works for a guy part-time. Well, it's almost like a full-time job for him, but they go out in these big boats, and that's what they do, is they clean up the algae of these ponds. And I'm like, man, that seems like a pretty lucrative business. Because he's telling me, he goes, man, he's got like 6 jobs lined up for me this week, and they're out there all day. And he goes, man, it's just cool. I just chill on that boat, but it's it's hard work. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But he's like, I'm out there. It's just me and God and the nature, and that's all it is. And I'm cleaning up algae out of ponds, man.
Yeah, actually, that might not be a bad job for retirement.
Yeah.
I think I could get into that.
So Del Enderlin's algae pond removal coming soon. So stay tuned for that as well. Del, again, so great to have you on this morning. You highlighted the organization, kind of some of the future steps, and again, we want folks to go to the website this morning at orwfoundation.org. For you being involved in this organization, I mean, what have you really seen? Maybe of course, without giving any names, but maybe tell us a story or just something that may be on the front of your mind about how you've seen this organization change lives, because you've witnessed a lot.
Well, the most impactful story I can think of is it was back in 2019, and we had a prospective donor that was going to, and he's now a board member. He wanted to go to a retreat to see what we do, and we'll bring individuals in so they can observe a donor or the board members. We want them to come so they see what we do, because once you see it, and it really it grabs you. I never thought I would still be here, but I'm hooked, just because it's helping veterans, and we take a lot of that for granted in our everyday lives. But we were at our facility in North Carolina, and there was a Vietnam veteran there, and that's probably why it meant a little more to me, because being post-Vietnam, when I graduated high school in '77, I'm just more in tune with the Vietnam War than I am the other ones. Mm-hmm. And this guy, his name was Eric. He was from Kentucky, and he walked out of his first ART session on a Friday, and he comes walking. We're all sitting over by the fire pit, and he just comes out, and he's beaming, just from ear to ear, a smile. And he wasn't smiling on Wednesday night or on Thursday when he was there. You could just tell he was struggling. He comes out, and he just says, I feel like the baggage I've been carrying around for 54 years is gone. And gives me chills. It gives me chills too when I still tell it. And then he went to ART on Saturday, and then on Sunday again, and he just seemed like a new man, and felt like he could just go on with the rest of his life and sleep. Another story, real quick, is we have there's a facility in Maryland that we have utilized once. It's called Patriot Point. And the gentleman that runs the facility is a retired Navy SEAL. And so they wanted us they offered their facility up for free, so we did a retreat there. But the caveat was, well, you need to go to the retreat. I mean, you're a Navy SEAL. We know you've experienced some things, so you need to go to it. So he agreed. And so he just went as a participant. And after his first day, he said it's the first full night's sleep he's gotten since he's been out of the military.
Wow.
So, that's all I can say for the veterans that are listening. You're all probably suffering from something, and we can help.
They probably don't even realize how deep of an effect it has until.
Right. Well, the brain is a powerful thing, and these are just little things that are, holistic methods. It's not drugs, and not to bash our government any more than we already do, but the VA really wants to just throw medicine at the problem, and that's not what they need.
Yeah. You said something that just really, and I know Denise felt it, you were talking about it too. When you talk about somebody that's carrying, I cannot even imagine 54 years of having that kind of weight on your shoulders. I mean, most folks wouldn't even be able to live 54 years with that kind of weight, because you think about the stress and what it does to your heart and your body. And friends, this is why this organization is so important. And I want to encourage you this morning to, a cup of coffee's $5-10 if you go to Starbucks. A cup of coffee now is like $10 because they stick that thing in front of you and say, and make sure you select a tip. No offense to those guys, baristas, but
peer pressure.
I want to encourage you this morning. I know everybody uses this analogy, but it really is true. Skip a coffee one morning, and I want to encourage you. And Dell didn't ask me to do this, but I'm going to do it because it's on my heart. Friends, I want you to go to the website. If you got $5-10, that can go a long way. I know a lot of people are hurting financially right now, and it seems like everybody's coming at you asking for resources. But I encourage you, go to orwfoundation.org. If you haven't already, go there this morning. If you got $5, give $5, $10. Whatever you can afford to give, please help this organization, because you just heard a story. A man, 54 years that he's been carrying this, and ORW has helped him to lift that. You talk about another gentleman who hasn't had a full night's rest, and I couldn't even imagine that.
Yeah, he didn't even realize there was anything that he needed help. He was
helping others.
First of all, he's a Navy SEAL, so he's Navy SEAls are a special breed, and you got to be really, really tough.
Toughest
And
of the
so
tough,
they're not
yeah.
going to ever admit that there's any issues with him. But he came to the retreat, and after the retreat, he's told the the people that manage the retreat facility are the Plank family that own Under Armour. It's actually Kevin Plank's brother, Stuart Plank, and he told them, he said, "Hey, these guys, their program is for real, and they've opened it up for us to utilize their facility as many times as we want for free because of what we're doing." They host it for all types of veteran organizations for free anyway, but most of the ones that go there are recreational. They're hunting and fishing, etc. We were the first therapeutic one, and they loved us.
Dale, I didn't ask you this before, so I hope I'm not throwing something at you. But do you know or have an estimation on how many veterans have went through the organization so far?
Yeah, we're over 3,500 now.
That is incredible.
Our first retreat was in 2011. We had 4 in 2011. We will have 52 this year, and similar number in 2024.
Is there ever a time where there is a waiting list because the demand has been so high?
No, because we really don't. There always is a waiting list. I mean, it's ongoing because our applications keep increasing because our biggest referral source are the people that have gone through the retreats. So in 2022, that was the most registrations we've ever had, and 2023 is on pace to break that, despite the fact that we're not in an active war.
Yeah. Well, it's great that this resource is here, friends, and something that we've mentioned on this show, too. We've had folks like Tara Burnett on, and she does an incredible job with the Hearts Veterans Museum. But Huntsville, this community is so engaged in our veterans. I have never been part of a community that, and I'm not saying that other communities don't, because everybody wants to help our veterans. But I have never been involved in a community where there's so many people that just have a heart, and it seems like everywhere you go and every day you hear a story about how our veterans are provided with an opportunity. And Operation Red Wings Foundation, again, another resource here that is making a global impact, most importantly, changing lives, helping to lift the weight off of folks who have been in situations that, like you said, you're not a veteran, I'm not a veteran, I could never imagine that. My father served our country in Vietnam, and I know that he has been through a lot as well. And please take advantage of these organizations that are out there. In fact, my dad was chiming in right now. He said, "I'm very thankful I made it home from Vietnam, and that I have the love of my family."
Yep.
And there's a lot of folks out there, and this kind of just hit my heart too, Del, that there's some veterans out there that don't have the love of a family, that don't have many friends. You see a lot of guys on the street that are hurting, that are homeless. And so I want you to think about that this morning, friends, as you're waking up. Just what can you do to help? What can you do to make an impact? All you got to do is make a phone call. Go to orwfoundation.org. And as I said earlier, if you got a few bucks, just toss it their way. It's going to help out and go tremendously. That'll kind of lead me in, I guess, to the last set of questions here, Del. How can folks get involved other than the monetary support? I know organizations, you got to have money to keep the doors open. But what can folks do to get involved, and how can they help you?
Volunteers. We have a group of individuals from Texas Grand Ranch that they get together. They alternate within their group, and they provide one meal at every one of our retreats out there at the camp. They were doing it at Camp Coyote and at Camp Caroli. So if there's anybody out there that wants to volunteer to cook a meal for a retreat,
I love to cook.
There you go. Just go and sign up on the website as a volunteer and put what you want to do, and we'll reach out to you. And
I would love to.
Lucky 19 Brewery. I don't know if you know Jacoby or he also owns Potato Shack, but they made a beer for us called Warrior American Ale, and have our logo on it, and they're pushing that, and we're getting a big part of the proceeds of that. So if you have a business and you want to do something to support us, while it's not costing you any money per se, just giving a part of your profit, part of your sales. I shouldn't say your profit, because you got to make profit to stay in business. But it's just supporting without just cutting a check with no upside for them. It's a win-win. So, we're always looking to partner up with a business. A couple of the restaurants in town provide us meals at a very low cost. Mackenzie's Barbecue, Pinch and Plate, that's a new one.
Yeah.
They've been doing all our lunches and rave reviews. Tomfooleries does our pizza on Wednesday night, because every Wednesday night we're trying to use local restaurants instead of the chains. And
sure.
But we were using Domino's for a while, and then I was introduced to Weldon, and he owns Tomfooleries, and so now they're providing the pizza on Wednesday night, because people come in at different times, so we do pizza on Wednesday night so they can throw it in the microwave and heat it up if somebody comes in at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, you got to eat that pizza cold, though. I got to get more people on the cold pizza train. We just had some pizza from Humphreys last night. It's pretty good. Weldon's is awesome, by the way. I'm a little biased to Shane Christian over at Fat Boys Pizza. He's a good friend of mine. But we have so many great pizza places here in town. And in Weldon, what I love about Weldon is he actually went to New York. He and his son to learn how to make pizza. So he's not just an owner. He's an owner-operator. He understands the process, and that's why their pizza's so good over Tomfooleries. I mean, he literally went to New York, spent a week there to learn how to make. And if you ever have a chance, ask him about the story. I don't know if he's ever told you the story, but there's some, like pizza godfather type guy there in New York, and he learned from this guy how to make pizzas. So this is like the real deal. He's like, if we're going in on this, we're going to learn how to make it the right way. So, well, Dell, again, appreciate you so much for being here this morning. We wanted to continue to shine a light on your organization and the folks that are a part of this. And I say I know you're just the executive director, which is a big role, but this is it's a veterans organization there to help out our veterans, and nobody owns it. It's a nonprofit 501c3, but we want you to support Operation Red Wings. Again, go to the website at orwfoundation.org. Dell, was there anything? I know we've covered a lot this morning. It's so great to have you back on. Is there anything that maybe we missed that you wanted to mention?
Probably, but I can't think of it. I can talk a lot.
Yeah, that's all right, man. Well, that's good. Well, Dell, thanks again, and we want folks again to be a part of what Operation Red Wings is doing and stands for. It's great, man. God has just tremendously blessed this organization, and to have faithful leadership such as yourself as well, which is so important, and we appreciate that. So,
well, thank you very much. I appreciate you having me on.
You bet.
And I'm looking for you to sign up as a volunteer.
I will.
Yeah. Dell's going to hold you to it. So.
I will. I'll do it.
We have proof.
He's going to go back on the video. Remember that? No. We do want to welcome everybody in this morning also that's on the Spirit Radio FM app, and so we appreciate you. A lot of folks were listening this morning on the app as well, and so stay up to date with everything that's happening. We'll get out there to the new facilities, take some photos, and we'll keep folks updated with what's happening here as well on Hello Huntsville. And Dell, as always, just reach out to us if you need anything, and you know that we'll be here for you. So.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that very much.
Well, friends, we'll step aside. We'll take a break. And, Dell, I'm sorry, you can't enter to win cash. Sorry, Dell, you're the guest. But anybody else can, except Denise. She can't enter to win either. You know what happened one day? We were giving away flowers. And I don't want there to be, what do you call it, like nepotism when your family's involved in stuff? Okay, so what happens? I'm giving away flowers. All right, and Bridget didn't know. She's my sweetheart. She didn't know. She may have known a little bit. Maybe I never told her. We're giving away a bouquet of flowers from Sweet Caroline's Floral Shop. All right. She texted in to win, but it was on my mom's cell phone, and I didn't recognize the number because I don't, my mom doesn't hardly use her cell phone, and she was visiting us that week. Bridget turned on her cell phone, texted to win, and the randomizer picked that number, and I answered her like, hey, you just won. She goes, oh, hello? And so I couldn't tell her no. So I ended up giving her the flowers that week. So that's the only one time that's happened on the show. We're giving away $20 all week. Each day all you got to do is text in the keyword cash along with your name on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line. Go by and check out Granny Mary's. They have wonderful food just right down the street from us here on University. And you can text in that keyword again with your name, cash and your name, to 936-339-0139. For now, though, we'll step aside, take a break. Denise and I will let you know what's cracking up here. Cracking up, cranking up, cracking up, cranking up. I don't even know the word.
Stuff up now.
We'll let you know what's happening this day in history, and a day that I don't really particularly enjoy today because I do enjoy the day, but it's a national day of something absolutely terrible in my opinion. We'll talk about that when we come back. Stay with us. More to come here. This is your show. It is Good Morning Huntsville.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kay Boning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life. There's a place in Huntsville and now in Conroe where you're more than a customer, you're part of the family. A place where style meets comfort and every visit feels like a treat. Welcome to the Color Bar Hair Salon. From the moment you walk in, our friendly stylists work to create a look that's perfect for you. Whether it's a fresh cut, a vibrant new color, or a blowout for that special occasion, at the Color Bar, we've got you covered. We pride ourselves on creating an environment where our guests can relax, enjoy a beverage, and let us do the pampering. We use top-notch products like Kevin Murphy and even offer hair extensions for those looking to add a little extra flair. And when it's got to be perfect, we ensure you leave looking and feeling your best self. But don't just take our word for it. Book a reservation or buy a gift card online and experience it firsthand. Visit us online at colorbartx.com and discover why at the Color Bar Hair Salon you get an experience that goes beyond. The Color Bar, where you belong. See you soon.
When you live and work in the town where you were born and raised, lots of people become just like family. I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. Over the years, we've shared a lot of good times and some tough times, and I'm honored to be the one you call on in your time of need. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, our goal is to help our neighbors in need and always provide the most outstanding service available, even on those really tough days. I thank you for your trust in us. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we're here for you.
Hey friends, Rob Hip here. As a guy, jewelry's not really my thing. I never know what I'm looking for. I feel uncomfortable, and I just don't understand how certain things look good together. But that's why I depend on Elliot Herzlich at Elliot's Jewelers. Whenever Bridget and I wanted to get engaged, we said, we need to go to a place to where someone's going to take care of us. They're going to make me feel comfortable as a guy, but they're also going to take care of her needs as well. So I went into Elliot's, and he was so gracious and compassionate with my understanding, and I wanted something that looked a little masculine for my engagement band, and he said, I've got the perfect thing for you. And he found some white hammered gold that was trimmed in 14 karat gold, also put a diamond on that ring to signify my love for Bridget. And as we grow and our family grows, we can put a diamond around the rest of those. So friends, if you're looking for someone that is dedicated to customer service, that understands the needs of people and does what's right all the time, there's nobody better than my friend. It's Elliot Herzlich at Elliot's Jewelers. Visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com. Welcome back out here on Good Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Boy, that was great having Dell on, Denise. Such a great guy.
Y'all almost saw me cry.
Yeah, it was.
I held it in. I sucked him in.
When my dad messaged me that kind of hit me home.
Yeah.
Love you, Dad, so much. Don't ever think that I don't, because I love you more than you know. My dad, I'm going to brag on my dad for a minute. He has been through a lot, honestly, serving Vietnam, and he's in a VA facility now, and they're taking good care of him. And I hate that he has to be there, but he's getting along as well as he can. And Dad, I want you to know how much I love you and how much you've meant to our family. and I'm not just saying it because I'm here on a public platform, but I'm saying the truth. My dad raised us with very high morals and ethics, and I'll never forget when I had my IT company in Georgetown, I would go into folks' houses to work on their computers, house calls. We were the computer house call doctor. We'd show up and fix the computers for folks, and I do miss those days sometime, but not too much. I enjoy doing this a lot more. It's less stress because I know when the show's over, 100 people aren't going to call me with a reoccurring problem. But I'd never forget, folks would always say, were you in the military? And I'd say, no. And they say, well, is your dad? And I'd say, yes. Because we were always taught to say yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am. And even now, I'm almost 40, and I still call people Mr. and Mrs. And there's a lot of people that say, don't call me Mr. this. That was my daddy. And so my dad always said, always start with Mr. and Mrs. And say yes, sir, no, sir, unless people tell you otherwise.
Yep.
And so that's how my dad raised us. My dad always said, love God, love your family, and take care of business. And the biggest thing that my dad taught me was he always said, what's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong, and there are no in-betweens. There's no gray area.
Yeah.
It's either right or wrong. And he also said, if you do it, my dad always said, and I'm going to tell my children this same thing as they grow up. My dad always said, if you're right, I will always fight for you. He's like, but if you're wrong and you did something knowingly wrong, he's like, good luck, you're on your own. And so that stuck with me, and I got in some dumb trouble in ninth grade, some computer hacking, and one of the biggest life lesson my dad taught me, I'll never forget, is my dad had me in the backyard. Dad, you may not remember this, but I do vividly because it's the biggest thing you ever taught me. I got in trouble for some dumb computer hacking back in ninth grade. We put a virus on the computer network at the. It spread to every computer on the network, and it was. I didn't realize how much trouble it was. But we were just having fun. We were like, oh, we can see what the screens have, and we can make the CD-ROMs open and close. And I'll never forget, like this guy that was in our class. I think his name was Lars. He was like, yeah, I was in. I remember her first name was Johnny, but I can't remember her last name. She was a computer teacher. And they were in Miss Johnny's class, and he said, yeah, y'all were making my computer CD-ROM, and we didn't know it was his computer. We were just random computer that popped up that was infected. And so we were making the CD-ROM open and close. And he goes, yeah, she came over, and I was wondering what was going on. And she's like, he goes, it was hilarious. I know this is terrible. And then it was terrible. It was funny to go back on it. But he said, she came over and lifted up the keyboard, and right when she did, because the CD-ROM kept opening, and he said, whatever y'all did, she lifted up the keyboard to look and see what was going because there was like a roach under the keyboard making it happen. Well, anyways, when she lifted it up, we made the CD-ROM open, and she said she freaked out and dropped the keyboard and screamed. So those were, but the life lesson my dad taught me, I'll never forget, is he took me to the police station, and I didn't realize how serious what we did. We were just being kids, but it was extremely serious because we had access to records that if we wanted to, and I didn't realize this, but confidential records of students and stuff because of these computers. And I don't encourage any young person to do this stuff. I mean, you can get into a, and we did. I had to go to military training after school for a week. They wanted to send me to something called the Georgetown Alternative Program. But since I wasn't a kid that was always getting in trouble, this was a one and done type deal. They sent me to something else called PIT, which was Prevention Intervention Training or something like that. And it was by military guys. And so I had to do 2 hours after school for a week. So it was 10 hours of military training, and it was pretty brutal. But my dad took me, after all this happened, he took me to the police station, and I talked to Doug Field. I'll never forget. Doug Field was the police officer. In fact, his and they're still good friends, but his wife and him had divorced, and his wife was my Sunday school teacher. And this is all a funny story. I'm ordained to perform wedding ceremonies, and so I actually performed the ceremony for his ex-wife and her new husband years ago. So, but it was cool because I remember talking to Doug, and he was very serious with me, and I was scared to death. I thought I was going to get arrested or something. Then my dad took me to Sonic, got me something to eat, and then we went home. And we sat in the backyard. And I'll never forget, my dad says, get over here in front of me, boy. And I did. I was standing in front. He was sitting down. I was standing in front. He took his glasses off. He goes, I want you to punch me as hard as you can in the face. Ooh. And I was like, man, I would not ever punch my dad. And I started, in my mind, I started thinking of little things that I got in trouble for. Oh, man, I want to. But then my brain told me, and my heart told me, no, your dad didn't teach you to, be that way to your parents. And my dad said, come on, boy, quit being a wimp, punch me. Like, was trying to get me. And I started crying. And then he started crying. And he's like, what's wrong with you? And I said, well, you didn't teach us to, like, punch our parents. And he's like, and I didn't teach you to do what you did either at that school, son. And then he gave me a big hug. And he's like, and you're grounded for 2 months. So that was the biggest life lesson growing up that I learned.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Just imagine what would have happened if I would have punched him, Dad. I probably wouldn't be here today. I'd probably 6 feet under right now. So, anyways, yeah. Never know what's going to happen, Denise. Denise Olivas joining us, Walker County Federal. Today, let's get to it real quick. You want to before we head over to the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine?
Okay.
Today, National Wicked Day. You know, it's the day before Halloween. That one doesn't bother me too much.
Like Wicked the play? Is that what I'm looking at?
I don't even. Did you know that was a play?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I thought it was
Like
just
the Wizard of Oz play.
Oh, it is weird. Some sort of like trendy Wizard of Oz. Look at this. Like Dorothy didn't dress like that.
I'm
Some
pretty
yellow
sure that's
dress. And the Wicked Witch.
Dorothy?
Is that like the Wicked Witch, but dressed as? I don't even know what that is.
Well, I think that's supposed to be the Good Witch.
It is. Look,
Linda.
October 30 honors one of Broadway's longest-running musicals, known as Wicked. Wicked. Millions of theater fans, including Denise Olivas, from around the world are celebrating today as the musical Wicked premiered on Broadway. Never heard of it before.
Really?
No. Do they do reenactments of this in other places, or is it only on Broadway?
I'm sure. I feel like they've even done like a live action, like sort of movie type thing so that people can see it. But yeah, that's
Fourth. Look at this. The fourth longest running musical on Broadway, and I had no idea. Wicked. So it is a National Wicked Day today. I thought it was like something like worse. Like, I'm not going to read into this, man. We're on Spirit Radio. You know, I'm trying to keep it on the up and up here. Today is also World Audio Drama Day. Ooh. And this ties in to something that happened on this day in history back in 1918. Does anybody know what happened in 1918 on the radio? This was the days when people, I couldn't even imagine this, and I'm not poking fun, but like families would gather around the radio.
Like, yeah.
You know when you're having, like, you're listening to something and you're with a group of people and you kind of stare at each other? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of awkward.
You know, you see that, and they would like look at the radio as they're all sitting around it.
But you know what I'm talking about, right? When you're in a group and you're like you're listening to something and everybody's like, so is that what
trying to get everybody else's reaction?
Yeah. So is that like what you did as a family? Like, I can just imagine like the children like laying on the ground and then like, you know, like the dad draped over the radio with his ear on it, and then the mom's all, you know.
Aww.
What is today? What happened in did I say 18 a while ago?
1918.
No, it's 1938. I was off by 20 years. What happened in 1938 on this day? Does anyone know what happened? 1938 on this day. It ties into World Audio Drama Day. I will say that they've made a couple of TV movies, one of them fairly recently, about this. I didn't care. I'm thinking of Billy Cawthon and I have been having so much fun with like Sling Blade lately, and Billy Bob Thornton, like, I ain't got no gas in it. I was just thinking, I just had like some Billy Bob Thornton Sling Blade in my mind, like, ain't nobody remember it. But 1938, Orson Welles' War of the Worlds played radio broadcast. People thought it was for real. They thought that aliens were actually from Mars were here destroying the Earth. So that happened. Today, I did not want to get to this one, Denise, before we head over the text line. Oh, it's terrible. I don't even want to mention this. And Clay, if you're watching, this is your day, I guess. You gave me one of these nasty things. Look at that calendar, like licking that thing.
That's weird.
It's so nasty. Those things are gross. Today's National Candy Corn, a.k.a. Chicken Feed, a.k.a. Chicken Manure Day. National Candy Corn Day. I don't know why. The country celebrates its favorite vegetable with National Candy Corn Day. Not favorite to me. In the late 1800s, vegetable. George Renninger of Wonderlo sounds like something from like deep South Texas. Where y'all? Well, we work over at the Wonderlo Candle Company. They invented this name, this Wonderlo, while they were dipping, by the way, because it was supposed to be wonderful, and it came out Wonderlo. Wonderlo Candle Company created candy corn. Thanks a lot, George. His sweet treat represented the bright colors of corn kernels. It was yellow, orange, and white. However, it wasn't until 1889 that the Gillette's Candy Company, the same Gillette, it's Gillette's sister company, so they made razor blades and then they made candy. Just kidding, they didn't. It's called the Gillette's Candy Company. Made the candy popular. Unfortunately, they did. Later, other candy makers developed a variety of popular colors and flavors as well.
I don't know that I've ever seen different flavored candy corn. I always just see candy corn.
I want to think that I had like a cheesecake flavored candy corn one time that wasn't bad. Let's look at the cheese.
I mean, does candy corn really have a flavor? It's just kind of like
It does.
eating wax.
Oh. Hold on.
I mean, I'll eat it. It's not my favorite, but I'll eat it.
Yeah, I've had this before. This is exactly what I had. I just looked it up on Amazon. It was a blackberry cobbler flavor candy corn.
It's purple. I like it, but I've never seen that. I've never tried anything else.
Old perp. Kathleen Brown said, I knew that. She did.
Somebody said there's Nerds candy corn.
Jamie Saucier said War of the Worlds, by the way, for our trivia while ago.
Jamie knew.
And then our good friend Randolph Thompson saying, good morning, Huntsville. Monday is here with a chill in the air. Halloween is around the corner, so better beware. Mm-hmm. Grab your coffee and sit right down. Hello, Huntsville is bringing the good news of our town. Bam, Randy. I love it, man. I love it. So Randolph Thompson giving us the rhymes.
We got drama day. We got poems today.
I thought I was Busta Rhymes, but Randolph Thompson is taking it to a whole nother level. All right, well, let's head over to our text line. And
everybody wants that cash. Look at all those entries.
Everybody in the club. You got to answer, though. If you don't, I'm keeping it today. I ain't calling nobody else. It's my money anyways. No, I'm just kidding. Here we go. Denise, you want to take the call? You feeling it?
No. I try to think of something real fast and no, it didn't come to me.
Hello. Good evening. Or morning. Sorry. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Who is this?
Hi. My name's Mike Wright.
I got to say it, Mike, because people have probably told it. When you call Mike Wright, you're never wrong. And you are not wrong today, Mike Wright, because you texted in to win. You've probably heard that before, right?
Oh, yeah, plenty of times.
Something, yeah.
It's all right. Mike, yeah.
It's all right, man. My last name is Hip, so I've heard everything, too. And then my real first name is Robin, so that's already been disclosed on this show. So I've heard everything under the wind. Mike Wright, winner of the Lost Picture Show, by the way, representing. You are the winner today. I got $20 for you, man, that we are going to Venmo or Cash App or PayPal you. I'm assuming you probably have one of those apps, right?
I believe so.
Okay.
I thought we were going to pay him in all pennies.
Yeah, we're not going to. I was going to show up with a wheelbarrow of pennies for you, Mike, but we're not going to do that, all right, man?
Right, just the old Ozarka Joe. I'll take it.
So, well, congratulations. We're here with Denise Olivas from Walker County Federal Credit Union. If you need a place to put that $20, man, you can set up an account over there. They'll take great care of you. Mike, you're with the. Can you tell us a little bit real quick, if you don't mind, about the Lost Picture Show?
Oh, absolutely. It's a project designed to celebrate and rediscover classic cinemas, theaters.
That's cool.
There's a lot of them out there that people don't even realize this. This store here used to be a theater back in the 20s, and those are the type of things I find and research in my spare time.
Yeah, well, cool. Wonderful, man. Well, it's so good. How did you find out about us here on Hello Huntsville and the morning show?
Oh, I've been listening since probably about the third or fourth episode.
Ah, wow, cool. All right, well,
thanks,
man.
Mike.
Yeah, thanks so much, man. I hope it's gotten a little more entertaining as we've went on. It's always good with Denise here on Mondays, so.
No, it's always a good time. I appreciate y'all.
Hey, you bet, buddy. Well, hey, before we let you go, I always ask our guests, what do you love most about Huntsville?
The history.
Love it.
The deep history.
Mm-hmm.
The history. Well, keep us updated, Mike, if you don't mind. Send us some info on the Lost Picture Show and whatever we can do to help promote that. We'd be more than happy to. I think it's a great project, and we're so blessed to have someone such as yourself here in our community, my friend.
All right, will do. Thank you very much.
All righty. Have a blessed day, Mike. Thanks.
You as well. Bye-bye.
There he is, Mike Wright. Winner. I love that. Someone that's never texted in before.
Yeah.
And he's been listening since like the third episode, and we're 140 into it.
That's cool.
So we have been so blessed to have a lot of new folks. By the way, thanks to everybody who texted in. We had a lot of folks text in this morning. So and I'm sure that number will continue on. You can text in tomorrow if you haven't already. Join us again tomorrow. We'll have more fun coming your way. Denise, I think that'll wrap it up. I got to go do an interview this morning with a good friend over at Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, and I got a busy day. I got a staff meeting 9:30. Oh, man. Got another meeting at 11. Got to take baby to the doctor. Got another meeting this afternoon. It's going to be a fun day.
Yeah.
So stay warm out there.
I'll be inside.
Yeah. Ain't nobody got time to go outside if you're Denise Olivas.
The two offices next to me, they get cold all the time, so they turn their heaters on, and I get their heat from both sides. So people walk into my office. Justin walks into my office all the time. He's like, it's hot. And I'm like, yeah, these guys next to me.
They're burning you out.
I get all the heat inside.
Well, Karen, we missed you this morning. We know that you were having a terrible time in Cozumel.
She said hello from Cozumel.
But she is in
and
Cozumel.
She sent us a picture of the beach, so that was rude, but hello.
Yeah, that beach just looks terrible. The water's
horrible.
Like water looks like it's like red and orange,
I know.
and there's like broken down boats all over the place. Yeah. Dead seagulls out there. Just right. It actually looks really nice.
Yeah.
All right, friends. Well, that'll wrap it up here on another episode of Good Morning Huntsville. Make sure to join us tomorrow. This week, completely booked up. We're going to have Terry Coleman joining us. Also, Deanna Irwin will be our guest co-host as our buddy Jason Thompson recovering at home right now. We miss you. We love you, Jason, and praying for a fast recovery for you. But Deanna Irwin will be here tomorrow as our guest co-host, stepping in for Guardian Defense. And then Terry Coleman, one of our real estate experts here on Hello Huntsville, will be joining us as well, giving us some market updates. So we're excited to have her. More guests throughout the week. We'll have Coach Bubba Miller on a Wednesday as well from Sam Houston Rodeo Team. I always said Rodeo back in the day. Rodeo, the Rodeo Team. We're going to be excited to promote those guys and all that they're doing.
Fancy new facility over there.
Fancy. Oh, whenever you walk in, do you ever say, "Oh, you fancy, huh?"
Oh, you fancy.
Isn't that a song too? Like back in, "Oh, you fancy, huh?"
Fancy.
Yeah. I haven't heard that word in a while. Fancy.
I say it all the time.
Fancy.
I'm like, ooh, it's so fancy.
That's one of those words that if you just say it, it just sounds funny. Fancy.
Anything. If you say it too many times, you're like, am I saying it right?
Growing up, the funnest word that we used to say was rutabaga. Like for
rutabaga?
Yeah, rutabaga. Rutabaga. It was on a Star Trek episode. We won't go into that. We'll save that for another random time here. Until tomorrow, though, I want to remind you, friends, thanks again for joining us, waking up with us on a Monday, spending and starting out your week with us. Remember to get out there today. Somebody needs you. As I end every broadcast, I end it just like this, that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We truly do need each other. Provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody needs you. Till next time, good morning, Huntsville, and God bless. We'll be right back at it tomorrow. See you then.
Good morning.